ready? Are we ready? Okay, it's gonna follow me. Cool. But I'm gonna need to do a little bit like this. Welcome, smooth gang. I have to turn it off a little bit. But um, welcome. Welcome, smooth gang. What we got going on today? Trying something a little different. Gonna do a little different little view. Happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. We in it, we at it, and we doing it. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What we got going on in these internet streets, y'all? Huh? What do we got going on in these internet streets? It's a lot happening, y'all. It's a lot happening, and I don't really know what I think about it yet. You know what I mean? Um, we got a lot of things happening out west with all the podcasters and things that got going on. Um, we got the content between Munchie B and Flacco and Wack trying to set people up as usual. We got Pooh Shiesty. This man is only out of jail for about 40 days, y'all, and find himself going back. I think I'm gonna change my camera. I'll take this off. Y'all bear with me here. I think I'm gonna bear with me here. Give me 1 second. Y'all bear with me. Turn this off for a second. I'm just changing my camera angle here real quick. Take that off of there. Take this off of here. But good morning, like I said, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody doing well. Like, comment, and subscribe as usual. You know what I mean? We're finna get into it, y'all. If you don't know about it, we're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna get this thing figured out together. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying this new little camera I got, y'all, or camera holder I got. It's a 360, but I don't know if it's gonna do what I want it to do. So I got it placed a certain way right now. Like I said, y'all just bear with me. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that. Welcome, smooth gang. Um, yeah, man. So look, we're gonna watch a little bit of academics. Academic is reading off some of the paperwork with about Pooh Shiesty. Welcome everybody. Welcome. So we're gonna watch a little bit of this and then we're gonna comment on it. So I'm gonna turn y'all around a little bit so y'all can actually see what we got going on as well. Let me see. Can y'all see some of that? I guess you don't gotta see it, but
Okay, so this is fingerprints. Lifted from the crime scene were ran through the AFIS.
so actually let me give you a breakdown real quick.
Print expert received hit notification.
So as we know, Pooh Shiesty was in jail for like what, like 5 years or something like that. And ironically, he went to jail for robbery. Okay. Well, he wanted to get out of his contract with he wanted to get out of his contract with what's his name? Gucci Mane. And Gucci Mane wouldn't let him out. So instead of him talking it out like an adult, he thought it was the 1990s and was gonna uh force his way out. And he did that by gunpoint, y'all. And he didn't got caught up. So academics right now is breaking it down. You know, he always do the paperwork and break it down step by step. So what we're gonna do is gonna listen to a little bit of what academics talking about, and then we're gonna respond to it. Like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all y'all.
From one red solo cup. Okay, so they grabbed the fingerprints from the solo cup, who were identified as the left ring finger of Gibson, and a latent print from another red solo cup was identified as the right thumb of Rogers. I would imagine that based on how thorough the cops was able to preserve the crime scene and get these fingerprints, that's how you know that's CW. That's the cop, right? Like,
So we're gonna back it up.
well,
So
boys way. Oh, this is the apartment complex he live at. Nice little high rise. What's the problem? Okay.
Let's listen to it.
They all traveled together to an area into the booth.
So DJ Academics going to break down the actual paperwork of what actually transpired, what's going on.
Victims at 1 p.m. The victims flew into Dallas alongside the security. So this is the undercover cop, supposedly. The head of security is going to be called CW.
Great.
But they're actually not listed as a or maybe what is CW? Is it confidential witness or we'll figure it out. And another security officer known as TD. So there was Gucci had 4 people.
It might be the initials of their first and their last name, possibly.
With him, cameraman, his man.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Free Palestine.
What's the names? BP, cameraman MM, his man's BP, and 2 security guards. The security guard who's undercover cop is known as CW. All right, for a scheduled business meeting between RD and the suspect, Williams Jr.
Well, you know what I don't understand? It's 2026. It's cameras everywhere. Criminality is over with. The things people used to get away with and things people used to do back in the day. You cancel Christmas. You're not getting away with none of that stuff no more, man. I don't get why people still think they can do the same old stuff and get away with it. Like, you must like jail. I like freedom. I'm not gonna do nothing that's gonna jeopardize my freedom. I don't understand some of these people, man. I don't. I don't understand them. What is it about criminality that makes you so intrigued? Like, you going to jail. You are going to jail.
Texting has been signed to the recording contract for Roderick Davis's music label 1017 since approximately 2021. They were scheduled to meet because Ushaisi was upset, as we thought. He was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released from his contractual obligations.
Now, that was the dispute. He wanted to get out of his contract, but he has some more time on there, and he's one of the most hottest rappers out. So anybody who have him under contract, 9 times out of 10, is going to be hesitant to let him go. That's their revenue. Like, why would you give away pretty much your piggy bank?
Ushaisi asked Roderick to come to Dallas so they could meet about business. At 1:45, the police officer and his partner and the victims, including Gucci, arrived at the scheduled meeting location, a music recording studio within a larger office building. When the cop and the other security and victims entered the building, they realized it was a recording studio who was owned by individuals that we'll just call this individual JN. It was closed. While they wait for the studio to open, and the five went to a liquor.
And not only did they rob him, they robbed him at a music studio that had cameras everywhere. Hope you enjoy your morning too, my friend. Hope you can go ahead and like the video. I appreciate the likes, and go ahead and subscribe for me, guys. I appreciate you. Show love to the video.
Liquor store and purchased liquors in plastic red cups before returning to the studio. Oh, W Gucci. Yeah, man, go get these guys some liquor. Williams' junior father, Williams Sr., then called JN multiple times on the day of the meeting at approximately 2:53. JN answered the phone and learned that Williams Sr. was attempting to book a recording studio that afternoon for Williams Jr. and RD to record music. So, okay. So at approximately 2:53, he had answered the phone, learned that they were trying to book a recording studio that Pooh Shiesty and Gucci would record. At 3:15, at 3:15, they opened the studio.
I think that was a ploy. I think the I think the turn it back on. I think the zoom in, zoom out. I'm trying to see if this little camera got some extra little things to it. I'm gonna actually have to hook that camera up to my phone to see how that actually functions. I'm gonna actually try to play with that. Let me see what's on here. Got any turn it off here real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. Okay, got the thing right there. Okay, because this thing actually got a camera on it, but for the time being, it's using my camera. But it actually got a camera on it, so I've never actually seen how the camera on it function. So I'm gonna have to actually hook that camera up. But yeah, the them saying that they wanted to record, I think that was just a ploy to get them to the studio.
Cameraman for BP and Force, the two security. Investigators later collected and reviewed surveillance video captured at another business located in the same office building as on the same floor in the recording studio, which shows
Like the
that the
video guy.
father was outside of the building. Okay. So it looked like the father is the one who called the building owner to book the session. Looked like this guy didn't even know that they were going to do it. Right. So the guy who owned the studio didn't even know they were coming there. And after Gucci gets there, he realizes it's locked. They go get some liquor. The father pops up, and the father's like, "Oh shit, let me call the guy. We're gonna book the studio." They book the studio. It's opened up. Approximately 3:27. William Seniors appeared to be speaking with someone on the cell phone before entering the building around 3:28. Okay, so
And now it's probably gonna be premeditated too, because it sounds like they set all this up. Like, yeah, they came here originally to talk about the contract, but it turned into a kidnap robbery, and it wind up accidentally being an undercover cop, which is what Gucci Man security guard was an off duty cop at the time. Crazy, the luck, right? Crazy.
so I guess this is it. Approximately 3:39, an employee of the studio arrived to assist with production. I guess like some engineer. When the employee arrived, Williams Jr. and Williams Sr. were standing at the back door of the office building, engaged in what to be seen as a argument over the phone. Approximately 3:43, Williams Jr. and Sr. Wright, which is Big 30, Johnson. Okay, all of these guys entered from the east side of the office. The suspects walked through the lobby area before going into the studio. One individual with a dreadlock style hair, later identified as Gibson, can be seen on video exiting the building and shortly thereafter returning with a bag slung over his shoulder. So somebody came with a bag. All right, so right here. Okay. The 9 individuals entered the studio's control room where the victims were watching a football game. So look like Gucci and them. They're now in the studio. They're waiting. They got liquor there. They're watching a football game. They're waiting for Shiesty to show up. Look like the father shows up, but then Shiesty gets on the scene, and him and his pops. I guess maybe they're talking to Gucci on the phone, or I don't know who they're talking to, but according to the feds, it seems heated. And then afterwards, they seem to be like walking in, but one guy goes and he gets like something over his shoulder. Yeah. There was CW was positioned in the studio lobby while TD remained the victim in the vehicle they arrived in. So, undercover cop is in the lobby. The victim below are the photographs of the studio lobby left in the control room and the studio recording room. Both.
I don't care what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it. You just got out of jail. You know what it's like to have your freedom gone. 5 years is long. That's not a short amount of time. That's a long time. And you get out of jail and you make this decision, like rehabilitation my ass. Ain't no rehabilitation. If you do the same thing you did to go to jail right when you get out of jail, that's why they say what is it, recidive? Basically, a prisoner going back to jail within the first 5 months of them being released, or first year about them being released, is high. Because I guess to some people, jail ain't no problem. So I watched Scared Straight, and I was scared straight. So that was enough for me not to do anything criminal to try to get caught on that level or that magnitude. Yeah, I hustled a little bit and did that little whatever, whatever. But yeah, yeah, crazy.
Dallas Police Department body cam. So they did call Dallas Police and crime scene photos captured on the night of the offense. So this is how the studio looks. The victims overheard who Shiesty talking on his cell phones, potentially with a probation or parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out for rec time. So clearly he was, still going back and forth with, him being out for probation. And he's like, yo, nigga, I'm
And what's even crazier, Poole really wasn't even free. He was at a halfway house, y'all. You just got out of jail. You ain't even at home. You in a halfway house and you chose to do this. Crazy.
I'm good. I'm supposed to be able to. I'm going to the studio right now, right? Cool. From what the victims could hear, he was informed that that was not the case, and he needed to return immediately. He agreed that he was going to return immediately, and he was wearing an ankle monitor. It led the victims to believe that he was on house arrest. RD, who's RD? Oh, that's
That's
Gucci.
Gucci
Gucci
Mane.
told Shiesty they could reschedule their session, but Shiesty requested to speak to Gucci privately in the attached recording room. Gucci agreed and entered the room with Shiesty, Shiesty's father, and Big 30. Meanwhile, the security, meanwhile, the cameraman and the security,
And they got charged with robbery and kidnapping, and the kidnapping came in because Big 30 stood on the door and wouldn't let nobody leave. So if you hold somebody against their will, that could be a kidnapping charge. Remember that.
no, sorry. Meanwhile, the cameraman MM, and Gucci's homeboy BP remain in the control room. Okay, so it looked like remain in the control. Okay, so you got the control room and the recording room. That the artist is in the recording room. Usually, you're gonna have an engineer in the control room. Big 30, Gucci, Pooh Shiesty's dad, walk Gucci into the booth. Into the booth, fam. If I remember the Trap Lord Ross thing. That's just the funniest thing ever. Get out of the booth, fam. But anyway, so they walk Gucci's three of them. They walk Gucci into the booth to have a private conversation while Gucci's cameraman and his homeboys in the other room. And they're in the other room with 6 other individuals. Okay? So everybody's in control, boys, and they continue to watch football. BP offered to share the liquor they purchased, and at least 2 accepted, grabbing red cups and making a
Like
drink.
the
Gucci, no, not Gucci, I mean, Shiesty produced a purported contract termination or release paperwork from a bag and told him to sign it. It's like, yo, bro, come on, enough. Just sign this shit, bro. When Gucci refused, Shiesty became agitated. They started to argue, and then the cameraman and BP could see inside that, they looked like they were in a heated conversation or discussing business. But as the cameraman saw the conversation intensify, he texted the cop who was still in the lobby. So it's a cameraman who texts the cop like, "Yo, they kind of going crazy in here, bro. Like, come in here." As the argument inside the recording room ensued,
That's crazy.
Shiesty instructed.
Imagine that you pull off a robbery and the robbery wind up being a police officer that you're robbing. Talk about bad luck. God, dog.
Right. So he instructed, "Yo, this is like literally FDO. Yo, 30 passing. Yo, 30
And
passing."
then FDO is the song that he just wrote. And some of what transpired is actually like in the song he just wrote. But they say he wrote the song in December, so I guess he was pathetic in writing this song and what he was gonna do eventually to get out his contract.
To be my Drake, literally down to the T. Yo, get me my bag. Yo, the Drake is in the bag. Come on. Right complied, leaving the room to go return it with a bag. Then he pulled what appeared to be a black AK style pistol from the bag and pointed at RD. Damn.
Not only is this beyond stupid, it's actually sad to see where his mind frame was to actually do this and think he was gonna get away with it. Like, that's crazy. It's like he got a #1 single right now. The world in the palm of his hand. You do what you do and use your talents to get out the hood and get out of your circumstances. But for some reason, some people grow up out of their circumstances, but they can't let those habits and that mannerism go. I don't get it. When you elevate, your mind should, your situational awareness should, the way that you live should, everything about you should change as you elevate. But he stayed the same as he elevated and got himself in this scenario. It's crazy. They say you can take a girl out the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out the girl. You can take a man out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the man. It's crazy.
Shiesty upped it on Gucci. Like, what's popping, nigga? I'm getting released. Demanding that he get released. Gucci complied, signed the paperwork for Williams Jr., while Williams Sr. and 30 stood by. Gucci was not allowed to leave the recording room while he was held at gunpoint by Williams Jr. Wright pulled out a cell phone. Oh my God. Hernandez Gavon was right. He pulled out a cell phone to record him signing the paperwork while being forced to say he released Shiesty from their contract. After the release was signed, Shiesty took Gucci's wedding rings, watch.
And if you sign a contract or anything under duress, it's non-void. So that doesn't even make no sense. Hey, how you doing? That girl, how you doing? Like the video, subscribe, please. I appreciate you. Good morning, good morning. We're just going over this Gucci Mane, Pooh Shiesty situation.
Yo, Hernandez Gavon was right, bro. Earrings. So they unscrewed that bitch. All right, come on, let's unscrew your earring, gang. And cash. After Gucci signed the contractual release paperwork,
I wonder if they just made him sign the contract and didn't rob them, what would that be considered? What would that be called? You know what I mean? What is you saying down there? They got to be hidden, April. What you got going on down there? What did it say? Is it gonna let me see it?
provided the paperwork to Senior and asked if it was good. Senior says the paperwork needs to be dated, so then they forced him to add a date next to his signature. As Gucci, Shiesty, and Shiesty's pops and 30 exited the recording room, the remaining subjects, Waters, Rogers, Johnson, Glover, McDaniel, and Gibson, produced handguns,
Hey, girl, how you doing?
whatever, and began demanding property from BP and MM. Now, I got to be honest with you. L Security, you already got texted. So they text you that Gucci's in the booth arguing with Shiesty. And he's outnumbered.
The security was nervous. He wasn't like that. He's an off-duty police officer. And he ain't have no backup. That's how officers are. They ain't tough by themselves. They need help. Did you subscribe before you leave, April? Go ahead and subscribe for me, girl.
One
Please, before you leave.
And you're the undercover cop and you don't walk in there and like, yo, what's going on? Like, you're security? L security. L security, nigga. I don't care if this nigga's the undercover cop.
Thank you, honey. Appreciate it.
Or not undercover, off duty.
See you later.
So now, when Gucci comes out of the booth, his homeboy and his cameraman is getting robbed because everybody done up. So it looked like this was a plant. As soon as 30 comes back with a bag, get the drink, it looked like the other niggas just backed out on them two, be like, yo, what's up? Yo, y'all niggas gotta give it up too. Fuck it. All right? Okay. They produced handguns and began demanding property from BP and MM. BP was pushed on a couch in the control room while an individual named as this.
That's wow. So that's that pretty much. Then, they raided. Hold on, let's go listen to what they said at the raid.
Assistant Special Agent in charge of FBI Dallas. And we will have a brief question and answer session after their remarks. Please identify yourself by your name and your media outlet when asking questions and confine the content of your questions to today's press conference. At the podium, joining Ryan Raybould and Jeremy Wright is Executive Assistant Chief of Police with the Dallas Police Department, Terrence Rhodes. Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Withers, Assistant U.S. Attorney Claire Demers, and Assistant U.S. Attorney and Violent Crimes Chief Jeremy Fugate.
I'm gonna check this out, y'all. Y'all go ahead and like, subscribe on the video, and we'll make another one later on today. All love, I appreciate you. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell another friend to come on in. We got room, and I promise I treat everybody well.
I'm Ryan Rabel.